Hello friends, hello and welcome. Welcome to this personal power life coaching and wellness segment. In today's video, I want to touch on the topic of how to handle criticism and other people's negative comments towards you, and basically what to do or what is the best way to proceed from that moment. So thanks for joining, and the nature of today's subject is based on an experience where you or I or anyone is the object of someone else's comments that reflect a dissatisfaction, a disapproval, or someone who's not happy with something that something that you're doing, or what you are, something that you look like, or any quality about you really that emerges as a criticism or a comment that suggests that you need to improve or change or do something different from what you already are. We all are where we are, and everyone has a slightly different way of dealing with things and coping with things and of taking criticism. Now, as we become more mature in life and we get older or we evolve and we have more difficult life experiences, we learn to not take it all in. And so that is one key insight, is to don't let everything in. Everything that you hear is not true. And what other people are saying, it doesn't matter who it is. It could be one of your parents. It could be someone who is a good friend or supposed to be a good friend. Or it could be an employer or a neighbor or even the stranger at the grocery store or the pharmacy. People always have a comment. There's always something that someone else will think, and someone will always say the positive about something, and they can also say the negative. So whatever it is that exists under the human sun and moon, there's always something positive and negative to be said about everything and anything. And no one in the whole world agrees on anything out there. And certainly no one will ever have one consensus on you or on whatever it is you're doing in your life, or how you're living your life, your lifestyle, or your eating preferences, or what you look like, or the kind of work you do. See, the pain though tends to come from when your heart is hurt or you feel your feelings are hurt. But that's really because our ego is being provoked, and it takes it as an attack. And so I invite us to remember and remind yourself that someone else's supposed comments where they express concern or some aspect that you don't like what they're saying towards you or about you. You don't agree with it, basically. Essentially what's happening is that there's a disagreement between your ego and their ego. And this is when egos collide, and it doesn't have a good ending if they continue to bicker and communicate ego to ego. So as we cannot control anyone else, you can only bring the conversation back into yourself. And it starts with awareness and sort of getting your thoughts together and acknowledging firstly that you feel that you've been hurt, or that you don't agree with them, or that something feels off. And also that you don't have to let other people's comments into your heart. In other words, you don't have to assume that it's right what they're saying. What makes them right, or what makes them wrong? It's just words that someone else is saying, and we don't know what is going on in their existence or their life. Also, people will only reflect whatever they've been able to live, and their level of education, their life experiences, their culture, their upbringing. And the older a person gets, the more rooted and fixed and set that person is in their way of perceiving the world and organizing and categorizing things and cataloging people. We just label everything because that's what the brain does. It labels things. And if it's not conforming to the way that they needed to conform, that their brain says the whole world should look like this. And if it doesn't, then something's wrong. That's how their brain is thinking. That's what the brain is doing. And it's not them in terms of their true sense of self or their true self or their heart or their soul. This is just about ego and brain, and knowing that what you hear is not the truth. Because you can't really know if it's truly true. It's just a comment. And just as that person may have said something that you interpret as negative or that you don't like, someone else can say the complete opposite and it could be just as true. So remind yourself that whenever you face any criticism, whenever someone is not happy with what you look like, or they express discontent with any aspect of your existence, it's not really about you. It's just their ego and their brain expressing a confusion that the external world, which is manifesting as you specifically as their object of attention, their world, their brain is not understanding how to compute you. And if they need you to change or to improve, then that means that their brain just needs you to fit into their box. And that's not how it really works in your case, right? So you can just remind yourself, sorry, I can't fit into your box. I can only be my own. If I choose to be a box, then so be it. But this is what is. This is what I am. This is what I have to bring right now. And I choose to accept myself exactly as I am. I love and approve of myself exactly as I am. Now, it's very easy to sort of take it in the direction of defensiveness and even aggression and combativeness of defending yourself and sort of like standing your ground. But know that it's not going to lead to anywhere unless it's coming from a space of wisdom and inner resonance. And if you feel that your feelings were truly hurt or you're disappointed, maybe because you trusted that person or you felt that they would never really say something like that, remind yourself that even those people that are the closest to us that we think should be perfect according to our standards, they're also just human beings. And they don't know everything either, just like we don't know everything. You and I, we individually do not know everything. We're just doing the best that we can within our own consciousness. So understand that, appreciate that. Appreciate in the sense of just acknowledging that this is so. And you can then finally just practice by saying, you know, whatever, if you don't like hearing those things and they tend to come up again and again from the same sources, then just stop seeing those sources or stop putting those people in your life or stop listening to that content or show or stop watching the TV programs that make you feel bad about yourself. Just don't make yourself feel bad. You know, it starts with you. It starts with you not criticizing yourself. And if there is any of that happening, then just understand that other people also are reflecting things that are happening within us. So it's a symbiotic relationship. And somehow we come together with the people that are going to reflect some of the energy that is going on internally within you. So as these situations pop up in life from time to time, there are different ways you can approach it. Some people easily let it roll off their back like water off a duck's back, which is nice, and we can get better and better at that with experience, but hopefully we don't have to undergo so much of that. But even if we do, you know, that's only the ego that feels afraid of experiencing the pain of the rejection or the criticism. And here, you can also have further insight and depth of self-knowledge by asking yourself, is that comment that they're making, is it a rejection? Am I assuming that they're rejecting me now because of what they're saying? You know, the same way that some mothers, they criticize their children constantly because they love them. I don't know how that evolved or where that came from, but basically they're just projecting onto you, because the child is the projection and extension of the parent. So if an individual is not as conscious and sort of aware of how the words they speak can affect and influence others, they can easily just blurt out whatever is on their mind. They don't think about how is this going to make the person feel. Some people don't think that question, nor do they have to. You know, what everyone is where they are, and here again, you can choose to be that consciousness, and it starts with your awareness and it ends with your awareness. And that's what this life is, that constant evolution of awareness and that questioning mind. And as soon as you become aware, you sort of mitigate the intensity of any sort of negative feeling you might then take on into yourself. Because if your feelings are hurt, it's only the ego that is being affected. And as you recognize that, you know that this too shall pass, and maybe it's not true. You'll never figure everyone out, and we can let this pass as well. It's not the end of the world, and it's not your job to make other people happy. It's your job to live your life and for you to be happy in your own skin, in your own existence, and that's enough work for you for a lifetime. For you to work with your mind and use your beautiful mind to move you in the direction of the things that you do want more of. So begin by praising yourself, appreciate yourself, love yourself, support yourself, boost yourself up with positive, loving words, and just remind yourself that you're doing the best you can. And it's just up to you, whatever you're thinking, and you can leave everyone else out of the picture and let them go on their merry way. And as you become stronger and more defined and definite in your own sense of inner peace and acceptance for self, those types of experiences seem to disappear, and they're no longer as apparent or relevant in your life. And it's only a matter of time, and it begins now. So start today as it comes up for you. And if you're not someone who feels easily affected by other people's comments, then that's marvelous. And then I invite you to help others who do. Remind them that you can just let it roll off in a way, that it's not about you, and to keep going and mind your own business. And while they don't necessarily seem to mind their own business, just keep going along your merry way. So remember that about the fitting into other people's boxes. And people will always have something to say. Other opinions will always exist in this universe, or at least on this planet. It's just a matter of appreciating the good times and letting the rest of it just disappear and float away like another wave or ripple on the surface of the ocean of life. So that's it for today. I hope this truly helps you and everyone to handle criticism with ease and peace and even mirth and fun, taking it lighthearted, taking it easy. Who cares what they have to say? But if it matters to you based on your job or performance or this and that, then take in the good. Take in the lessons and the learning from everything that you seem to experience. Learn your own lessons. And you don't have to talk about it with anyone. It's all just for you. So use every moment and situation as a learning experience where you learn, hey, this triggered something in me. Why did this make me feel such and such way? As you do those questioning patterns, it no longer takes control over you. You stand more in your own power. You mature, you evolve, and you become a greater and grander beacon of light for your own sake, for your own happiness, because you deserve the best. And this is so. So remember, you love yourself, you approve of yourself, and you're perfect exactly as you are here and now. And so it is. Thanks for joining this personal power life coaching moment and segment for your empowerment and vitality and joyfulness. And I wish you a beautiful life ahead. See you soon. Namaste.